Alright, hello everybody, and welcome on back to some Minecraft Musings. Not sure where I'm going with these things, but anyways, yeah, just a little recap. I did some building off camera, and I'll show you real quick with oh, whoops. Oh no! Dang it. Let's get these out of the hotbar. That's a waste of coral. Ah, okay. Anyways, this is what I've been building. It's faster than a rail, I think. That's what Waddles says. I'd like to test it. Have someone ride in a minecart next to me and be like, alright, I feel like this might be quicker. I don't know. I feel like it might actually be the same, now that I think about it, because and even, possibly slower as, oh, gotta put this back up. Because if you're looking to the side and seeing about how fast we usually travel on rail, feels about the same. Only it's a little slower here because I keep running into walls and it's really easy, especially with my drift, to kind of go off course and be going sideways or whatever. I mean, we're still moving along pretty quick, but honestly, I think railways are still superior. This looks cool. And you can do this in the nether with blue ice because blue ice never melts. But, yeah. Which, with blue ice, you can also make a, in the nether. Let's actually do that. I'm trying to remember how to make it. It's like a basalt farm, basically. It's a mechanism that allows it. We need a bucket of lava, which there's a lot of lava down there, but I don't have any buckets. Oh, wait, I do have. Actually, let's just go ahead and get that. That way we don't have to go all the way to the bottom of the nether to get lava. I guess it's magma because it's inside the earth, but we have wood, and we can make a crafting table, and we can use this iron that we have. Oh, yeah, I've been excavating a little bit more. Let's see, and I found a bunch of lava. Let's see. So, anyways, whoops, stop. I hate this drift. Uh, all right. Yeah, see, it's going all the way to that side. My poor son, he was trying to play video games and he's like, this stupid drift, and it was really affecting him. He was getting killed and all this, in whatever game he was playing. But I think he was Bed Wars on Minecraft. But I mean, he's learning. He's being an excellent gamer. He's already better at Fortnite than me. I mean, so is my daughter too. She's getting up there as well. But and she's younger, so I mean, she's catching up. Um, but yeah, it's just fascinating. So, and yeah, I started work pretty early, so I didn't actually get a chance to do my little bit of Minecraft musings before I started doing IT stuff. But I wanted to take a little half hour and do that, make up for it, and I can do that. That's what I love about this job. I am totally fine to be doing that. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna burn, actually. It's, is it not gonna burn? It's weird. Anyways, let's do that. We've got our lava, or yeah, it's lava here. Well, no, I guess technically it's lava. We're underground, so I guess it could still be considered magma. I don't know. We're not gonna split hairs like that. We got lava. We got lava buckets. That's what it is in this game. So, anyways, sorry, I've been having some excellent conversations on the X app, and I gotta say, I almost prefer talking to MAGA Republicans, even when they're calling me names and talking bad about my mom and all this stuff, and just being really angry or saying that they'd hook up with my wife, which I don't even have a wife, but that's just trying to say anything to offend me. Arguing with Democrats is even worse because I'm traditionally a Democrat. I vote Democrat. I mean, the only time I didn't was because I feel like the DNC stole it from Bernie. And it wasn't Hillary specifically that stole it, I suppose, but it's it still happened. So I'm not. Whoa, can I not place that? Oh yeah, you can't put it. You have to attach it on something. That's a weird thing with coral. You can only place coral with the bottom attached to something. And I think to other coral. No. Anyways, back to my rant. So, a little backstory. I posted a video, and I've been talking about this a little bit. I posted a link to Tucker's interview with Putin on one of Biden's things, and I was just like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And instantly, two Democrats started jumping down my throat. One, a guy from Canada, we'll call him Mr. Canada, and then one lady, I don't know what to call her for nickname. Um, Lady Advocate, there we go, because she advocates for disability rights and LGBTQ rights, and part of her argument was how Putin and Russia are so harmful to gay people, LGBTQ or anything like that. And I was like, okay, and well, actually, let's back up a little bit. The very first reaction was "F off" from Mr. Canada, and Lady Advocate said I was mansplaining, blocked me. Mr. Canada was one of my followers. He unfollowed me, and then they talked amongst themselves for a bit, saying that I sounded uneducated, that this and that. I was confused, and all this. But then, like, I started showing them articles and showing them proof, and I was like, now hold on. We're just as bloody on our hands, the Democratic Party specifically, with Obama and Biden back when Biden was VP. Also, I'm trying to think. We forgot blue ice. Do I have blue ice here? I think I might. No? Huh. Alright, anyways, sorry, we're gonna go back down. But, anyways, it's just ugly. And it's Western propaganda at its finest. And it's sad because we're all susceptible to it. Myself included. I used to rage on Republicans on Facebook, really, and I've learned since, like, don't, try to keep that away from Facebook, because Facebook is where I talk with my family and my friends. Like, I don't want to muddy that up with politics. Now, X app, that's fine. That's totally different. That's strangers around the world, and almost every time, like right now, I'm actually finally talking with these people, and they're like, "Oh, you're not so dumb," or this or that, and like, but being called uneducated just because I wanted to hear Putin's side of things, that was interesting, because it's like, that's where your mind goes. I mean, oh, well, if it's something I hate, or how could anyone possibly? Well, if you live anywhere except for the United States of America, yes, there's a good chance you view America as bloodthirsty, whatevers. Also, let's go back up to Oasis. And I think I'm going to cut this to Oasis Season 5 too, because we're starting to get a little hefty. Let's see. I want to take the rail this time. I'll show you what I mean, because like we could test it and even like time it, like how long it takes me to get to a certain point, but I want to say it's about the same. So real quick, we'll do the boat thing. Let's actually. So we'll do the boat and try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so about 19, 20 seconds of me counting about that fast. I know it's not exact, it's not scientific at all, but about 20 seconds of me counting about that slow. And we could actually, it'll be easy for you, the viewer, to see that with the timestamp. You'd be like, okay, it took him about that long, and I struggled at the corner there, so maybe that's an extra 1 or 2 seconds. But, now we're going to try it with the minecart and see if it's about 20 seconds before I get to the end of the green stuff, the glass, on a minecart. And that's just basic scientific observation. Like, it's a hacky experiment, could be done so much better, especially with the tools I have. All right, ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, actually, I do think it is faster. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, like all that. Yeah, it is a little bit faster, but that's kind of negligible. Just a few seconds versus, I don't know. But anyways, let's take those few seconds and talk about this. So, yeah, now we're kind of talking about all sorts of stuff. And the reason I bring up Putin's interview is because there's a few key points in there that are very significant. Like when Putin said NATO is building missile defense systems, so then Russia has to develop supersonic missiles. And it's that classic one-upping that we've been doing since Sputnik and the space race, and we landed on the move, quote unquote. It's a common idea that the moon landing was faked just so we could win the space race and declare ourselves better than Russia for whatever that meant. Of course the economy's behind it and the world view of a person, but all that aside, what's the worldview of people that are so conflicted with Western propaganda that they're, well, one, willing to attack anybody who dissents or speaks out against it? That's why I love Bernie. Bernie, he's always like calling out Democrats for some sketchy stuff that they're doing, and he's a hardcore Democrat. But he's like, you know what? No, and he says it really bluntly. That's like, this is theft. This cannot go on, and this is why. And he's very good about arguing his point and coming equipped with facts. And he's wealthy. I know he's got a lot of money. I think it was from a book deal that he did. And that's the thing. It's like, if you want to get rich, sell a book, and it's your support and how much people like you, or maybe how much they're scared of the other political party so they like you. And I think even Sarah Palin, Lauren Boebert's written books, Marjorie Taylor Greene's written a book, I'm pretty sure, and this is part of how they do it. And average normal people can't just up and write a book and instantly sell millions of copies because we don't have clout. It has to actually be good substance, like a good book. So, anyways, just pointing out the inequalities, and where we're getting to with all of this stuff is, I don't like Putin. I'm not a big fan of Putin, but I don't hate the guy, especially after discussing with a couple people from my own quote unquote party. Well, and the one guy's from Canada. I don't even know. I don't know why he said he went to high school in the U.S. and he understands the U.S. And he's also a huge history buff, and so is this lady advocate. But great, you know history, but do you know critical thinking and reasoning in regards to current world problems? Now that's actually a class that I took in college, was current world problems. Oh wait, where are we going? We need, I think it's just, oh, and we need a chest. Yes, let's make a chest. Just one. We'll show you what I'm talking about here once we go to the nether portal. But anyways, no, it's important to be able to listen to all sides and perspectives, even if you hate them and even if you disagree with them and blah, 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 blah. Because people are not inherently stupid. They're not animals. They're not, we're all capable. And that's why I keep repeating when Neil pointed out that on a genetic level, human beings, regardless of skin color, religious beliefs, faith, whatever, are almost identical. The actual differences are so minuscule, they shouldn't even be really considered. On a genetic level, we are almost identical, meaning that we are all capable of reasoning, we're all capable of thinking for ourselves, and anything against that is kind of well, belittling. And that's not the first time. I mean, it wasn't mansplaining, but someone thought I was speaking down to them. But it was because I was trying to explain it on the most basic level, because when you don't have... Wait a minute. Was that right? Oh, right, yeah, the other one pops me lower, and then I have to climb the ladder. So here... Oh. Alright, well, never mind. We will, let's see. Let's be careful with this little experiment, because it can run away pretty quick. In fact, let's go ahead and put it in this, enclosed area so it's contained in case it runs away. So ideally what's going to happen is I'm going to put the lava there. In fact, let's go ahead and seal this back up. And then the chest there. The blue ice there. Okay, now what's going to happen is this should... No. Huh. Why did that not happen? Does it need to be completely contained? So, what's supposed to happen... What? Did they take that mechanic out? Or maybe I was playing on, huh. Alright, well, what's supposed to happen is that's supposed to change into basalt. Maybe that's a Java thing. Maybe it doesn't work on Bedrock. But the reason that I put that there is because of this. Even though my fancy pickaxe is super strong and powerful, it takes time to destroy this. Whereas this, boom, like a split second, it's done. But here, what's supposed to happen is as the magma flows, or the lava magma, whatever, this block right here is supposed to change into basalt. And then you can mine it. And then it's like a basaltic generator. So I'm guessing that just doesn't function like this. That's sad. I mean, only a minor annoyance, because that means that we can't generate our own basalt. And I'm wondering about that. Do I have to do it in the overworld, maybe? I don't know. Hmm. No, because... Sorry, I answered my own question. If you do it in the overworld, it doesn't turn to basalt. Magma and water just turn into either obsidian or... Uh, is it normal stone? Or it might be cobblestone. But either way, it's not basalt. So that's the geology of Minecraft in a nutshell. I wonder, does it need to be like double Dutch frozen? No. Interesting. And annoying too. That makes me sad. Let's leave this bucket here. Alright. Go away. Alright, well, anyways, we're learning things. Apparently that's a Java thing, at least, or maybe I'm not doing it right, but normally, yeah, and I guess it was the Java. This was the one I did it in. The last time I tried this, it was on my cousin's server, and that's what we did. We were in the nether. We had a basalt generator just like this, not even with this part, but with the chest, the blue ice, and a bucket of lava. And every time the lava tried to flow here, this block solidified into basalt, and then you'd harvest the basalt, and then it would be able to flow again one spot, then you'd harvest it again, and it would just keep going, and as many times as you harvested that, you'd get basalt. And then the cool thing about the chest right there is you could just dump all your basalt right there. So anyways, that just means that I'm going to have to go to one of the nether biomes and harvest that the old-fashioned way. I don't get to use a generator like that. So, but Blue Eyes does work for nether travel, and so since we proved just now that it is slightly faster, well, proved in a flimsy way, and we still need to hold out that, yes, it could be disproven pretty easily if it's really not faster, but I'm pretty sure that looked like it was faster. I could go back and look at the timestamp and know for sure, you know, because then you have the time right there, down to the second. So you could tell how long it took me to get in a minecart and go all the way around versus how long it took me in the boat to go all the way around. And even with a mix-up, like I slowed down at the corner to regain my direction, I still got there in 20 seconds easy of the lazy slow counting. And that isn't even a great unit of measure. It's just the best that I got on hand. But even the minecart was like 20 plus easily, like more like 25. And I kind of rushed counted at the end, so maybe like 23, 24 all together. So we're looking at like a 3 or 4 second difference of that part. But when you're talking going entire map segments, like if you look at the map in my hand here, and we go from just Oasis to Andarius proper, which we can't actually. We got to go to Bologna, which is the map south of this. But even that, like that's a long distance. And so those few seconds add up. I mean, if you're traveling like 5 map locations over, or 5 maps worth of land over, then yeah. So, anyways, okay, so we proved that. We did that, this, that. Great. Oops. Let's go mess with the antlers. 'Cause I still think that's hilarious that, um, hey, yeah, we'll have to do Andarius or something else proper. And actually, I'm almost done with this recording. We got 10 minutes left, but well, let's talk more about that. So, it's basically a one-up competition. Like that's what the U.S. and Russia are involved in. We're constantly trying to one-up each other, prove that that we're the greatest country, and blah blah blah. Or no, that's right. Let's finish the Dark Tower. That's good. We'll work on the Dark Tower while we chit chat for the last 10 minutes. I just saw the antlers on the map that like it looks like a an antelope or something, or maybe a deer, but or an elk. But like it's funny because I'm a CSU graduate, which has the ram or the sheep with the horns, the curled horns. There's a lot of satanic conspiracies around like the devil worship and antlers and like or having the devil have antlers or whatever, and then like, but then wisdom and is like the devil, and like you can't, knowledge and stuff like that. And it's just funny, just all that blending. And then I happen to have something that looks like it has antlers there. I got my degree from a place that's mascot has antlers. Like, I'm constantly contradicting some parts of the Bible, but at the same time, if you listen to a lot of these rants, it's not really contradicting religion in as a whole. It's contradicting the silly little rules and the in-betweens that have allowed for so much evil. And yeah, let's talk about that. So, gay people in Russia. Granted, they're not having the best time. Well, and let's back up even farther than that. I don't even really believe that there's truly gay people anymore. Like there are like LGBTQ, and the reason it keeps expanding is because you can't just nail down all of this and classify it as one specific thing. Like there's so much like bisexuality, like people going back and forth. Now, as far as people getting married, like our governor here in Colorado, Governor Polis, I'm pretty sure he has a husband. I don't know. I'm gonna feel silly if he doesn't. I say that, but like I'm pretty sure I've seen him talk about his husband, or like the news talked about his husband, whatever. Like if you're getting married to someone, then yeah, that's fine. You need LGBTQ rights. However, I mean, there's so much experimentation back and forth anymore that it's not really as big of a deal as it used to be. However, it depends on what part of the world. Now, I know that like the Middle East, it's very illegal and very wrong, and people get executed for being gay, and even being gay. That's why I say this, like, even if they do something gay, like they could turn around and be like, you know what, I didn't like that. I'm gonna go back to women, or if they're a woman, be like, you know what, that was okay, but I need a man or something, and then they go back to that. Okay. And what used to be like, yeah, people used to get killed for such a thing. And it was almost like if you even were curious or you experiment or anything, yep, you're gay and you're gay for life, and that's pigeonholing. And that's one of the things that I'm constantly speaking out against with felons, because anybody that makes a mistake and gets a felony, yes, even the sex offenders, which I can't stand, but they're not monsters, they're not creatures, they're people like us. And so if we want to prevent that from happening, we have to investigate the leading causes. Like what leads up to that? What allows that to happen, and then prevent it in a peaceful way. We can't go out killing people, castrating people. Like that's just barbaric and unnecessary and really overkill. Like it's just not needed anymore. Ugh. We kind of got a little off topic there. Whee! Also, I was gonna fix that, but I had to deposit some stuff. Let's just go and dump this stuff in a chest. I don't know what to do with it, so we're just gonna store it in a swap space. So, but anyways, like the argument Lady Advocate was talking about, oh no. Okay, I was like, where's all my chests? I'm just gonna temporarily put all this stuff here. Actually, I'm gonna keep a hold of that in case I don't come back for this stuff. I'll find it one day, be like, oh, look at all this cool stuff that I have. Oh, actually, you know what? Nope, even better than the Dark Tower. Let's put this coral to good use quickly before I accidentally ruin it or waste it on something else and it dies. Let's add to our underwater extravaganza. So, but anyways, like Lady Advocate was talking about LGBTQ rights in Russia, and that they execute and imprison gay people, to which I did a quick Google search and found out no, that's not the case. Homosexuality was legalized in 1993, according to what I saw, or 93 or 96, either way, in the 90s. So, okay, so right there, that's debunked. However, I did see what she was maybe referring to in that gender affirming care is banned. They call it mutilation, um, and which I don't know. That I have mixed feelings about. Like I fully support someone wanting to transition, but they need to understand they are not going to become a woman or a man purely. Like they cannot develop the XY chromosomes, at least not yet. Like the science isn't there yet, and that's okay. Like nobody's oppressing you by telling you, okay, you're not really going to change into this. And I I go back to the South Park episode with Jerry and the dolphin. He's like, I want to become a dolphin. And he becomes a lawfin, a lawyer that's a dolphin. And, and for all intents and purposes, he looked like a dolphin. Well, actually, he looked like an abomination and it was all bad and it was, but the thing is you can look like something, but you're not going to be able to swim in the ocean. You're not going to be able to breathe underwater. You're not going to be able to do all these things. So you just need to reason with yourself and be like, okay, I accept that, or I don't accept, or and then I change my mind. But you have to accept that you're not going to really become this, at least not until the science is there. And that's okay. Most people don't care. Like most people that I've talked to that are transitioning, and I have someone in my family that's transitioning, and that's totally fine. I respect her wishes to be referred to as a her now, and that's cool. Like I'm okay with that, as long as and she's also of adult age. She's not a teenager. So, and I guess that's my concern, a lot of people's concern, and I'm pretty sure Russia's concern is if kids are confused or tricked into it by, I mean, it's often called reverse racism, but I feel like it's actually just racism directed the other way, or discrimination, because, and that's why a lot of the right calls the rainbow mafia and stuff like that, because it's almost like, okay, we get it, gay people are okay, that's fine, but now, you're trying to convince my kid that he or she needs to be gay or transition to the other gender, the other sex, and all of this, and and people don't want that confusing their kids to accidentally have someone do some surgery that can't be reversed, and it's like, oh, now you're neither. Now you can't have kids. Now you can't have a family. And that's what a lot of people are concerned about. I'm pretty sure Russia included, because and the reason I say this is because another significant part of that interview was Tucker asked Putin. He was like, "Do you think any of this is divine intervention? Do you think any of this is done by God?" And Putin sits there and thinks about it for a second. He kind of snickers. He's like, "No, I don't think any of it is done by God." And that's very important because a lot of people's concerns are that radical religion are leading to oppressive behaviors and leading to oppression, leading to, downtrodden people, even murder, death, execution, which was funny because I pointed out that we kill over 500 people annually. I found a statistic that said over 500 people died in 2021 alone, just in police custody. So the war on drugs and how we handle substance use and substance abuse, because there is a difference, um, allows us to actually execute hundreds of people, where Putin doesn't execute or imprison people for being gay. Like I was able to disprove that. Now I still hold out the idea that yeah, I could be wrong. Lady Advocate could come back with a that's kind of derogatory to her. The Advocate. Let's just call her Advocate. She doesn't need to be lady. Like we don't need to put importance on her sex or gender. Like that's irrelevant. Same with the mansplaining. Same with and I told her, what are you reefer madnessing me because I brought up cannabis and how that's actually going to bring world peace, and I know it. I can explain it, and I think I have in here before, but basically, it will lead to world peace. Not directly, and not because everybody's going to smoke a joint and be all peaceful. It's because alcohol will have a healthier and safer alternative for a large percentage of the world population to start using instead of alcohol. Just kind of replace it. And alcohol has its place. But if you notice, like in our culture, we use alcohol to celebrate graduations, or you got a new job, let's crack open a bottle of champagne. Like, oh, the movie premiere, the release, let's pop open a bottle of bubbly. Like, no, and alcohol is the true gateway drug that can lead to harder drugs, every sin in the sun, and every crime. Like, any way you split it, someone who's under the influence of alcohol has a chance to do some really outlandish things and animalistic things. Now, someone that's stoned, nah. It's a very rare chance. Now, granted, it's not impossible. I saw that the Soldier brought up an article about this girl that stabbed her boyfriend like 130 times or something. I was like, whoa, that is intense. But guess what? Alcohol kills, what was it, like 100,000 people just with DUIs every year. So she would need to go and stab 100,000 people before it was as concerning as the loss of life to alcohol. And that's just the way I put it. And the guy was like, you know what? I didn't think about it that way. It's like, whoa, oh, okay. Now, granted, yes, she had a bad day. I mean, crimes of passion especially. Like, I'm wondering if there's more to that story. Like, she caught her boyfriend cheating on her, and then her whole world started crumbling, and anxiety and all this. And what weed was she using? Was it a sativa that was heavily potent that, has a higher tendency to lead to anxiety and paranoia, whereas a low potency indica would just be like, you know, I don't know. But then you also got to be careful not to become indifferent to everything. You still need to have your instincts and be able to act on them accordingly. I don't know. And again, alcohol, it makes you cloud your judgment. It impairs your thinking capabilities, like, and then you allow fight or flight to become more prevalent. But anyways, that's the 30 minutes. I just wanted to comment. It's just like interesting how well the advocate unblocked me. Mr. Canada followed me again. We're all talking like normal adults here, discussing things, but it's very crucial that people understand how quick and how bad political conversations can go, and that there is a lot of Western propaganda. I love this country. I serve this country first. I serve my family first. Actually, myself, my family, my kids, my co-parent, everything. And then my community, my town, my city. First my neighborhood, then my city, then my state, then my country, then my continent, and then my world. Like that's just how it ripples out. But I still worry about people dying anywhere in the world. It's a concern to me, as it should be to everybody. So, and not that it isn't. That's a total straw man argument I just did. Just because you're not out there like, the one guy said it best. It's like, what TF am I supposed to do when this one guy ranted about? He posted a very angry video for everybody watching the Super Bowl. And it was like, Israel just did this. And they did. They bombed one of the sanctuary cities that was supposed to be safe. And like there was a little girl that was killed and plastered against the wall. Like horrible stuff. Yes. Terrible. But I'm sitting here watching the Super Bowl trying to pretend that my life isn't all horrible and trashy because I'm poor and there's a movie star out there snorting all sorts of drugs and driving fancy sports cars while I'm working a 9 to 5 and barely making it and like living paycheck to paycheck and being worried about being homeless. But I should be oh so grateful I live in capitalistic society. Like, that's the thick of it. And people that don't have to worry about these things, it's a blind spot for them. They're like, oh, same with substance abuse. Okay, this one last thought, then I'll sign off and I'll get back to work for a little bit. I mean, I'm basically on vacation. I just got to finish a few things today, and then I'm off for a week, which I say that, but I'll still be checking my messages and doing a little bit of work just in case, make sure no fires happen. But still, like, substance use and substance abuse. And the only reason that a lot of people end up doing sketchy things while they're using substances is because they have to. They can't just do it in the privacy of their own home. They can't be like Hunter Biden and just go get a hotel room and just do all the crazy drugs and stuff he wants and then be fine and walk away from it without any trouble. Most of the time, people are out there doing drugs at like concerts or parties and then they have to get home. So then they have to either risk driving, which is a horrible idea. Don't ever do that if you're on the substance, especially for the first time. Jeez. Like, do not operate a vehicle. That is so dangerous. So you could kill somebody, and then you're in prison for murder. Anyways, but the reason that we even have so many weed deaths from driving under the influence is because people have to go out and drive around and smoke. I mean, I remember when I first got to Fort Collins. Okay, sorry, this is like admitting something bad, but like we didn't have any safe places to smoke, so we'd have to drive up into the nowhere, go smoke, and then, oh, well, we're in the middle of nowhere, we got to drive back in. So it caused dangerous situations. Same with drinking. Like, for the kids that didn't have a safe place to go drink, they'd go up into the woods or the mountains, get completely plastered. And that's how I lost my one friend. We'll just call him Chad. We'll leave out his last name, but he died. He was driving drunk to go get more alcohol with one of our buyers, and he crashed and killed himself. So, again, was it the alcohol that killed him, or was it the situation? He had to be up in the middle of the woods where this was allowed because it was like outlaw territory. Whereas if we treated alcohol like a lot of countries in the world and just let kids have a drink with dinner or something, or like drink with their parents a little bit to see what it's like, then you wouldn't have the forbidden fruit aspect of it. Same with everything that's prohibited. Like, you're automatically increasing a person's desire to try it and experiment with it, which even since Miss Frizzle with the Magic School Bus, we say, get messy, make mistakes, take chances, be curious. And then it's like, oh, but wait, don't do this, 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 or this, or we'll put you in prison. Like, it's very counterintuitive. And that's why you see a lot of scientists, a lot of Dungeons and Dragons type, nerdy type hippies that have vast amounts of knowledge of substances and what to do and what not to do. Whereas the people that have no idea what they're doing can cause a lot of danger and even death. So, anyways, that's where I leave it. Is like, Advocate tried to tell me that Putin was arresting and executing gay people. I did a quick Google search, found out, at least on paper, that's not true. I'm still waiting for her to say, no, it is, and give me an article that says, yes, Putin killed this person for being gay. But so far, I haven't found anything like that, and usually Google's pretty good about that, just because of the algorithm and how much information is accessible with Google. Like something should have popped up in like the first page or second page, like, oh yeah, here's an instance of him executing someone for being gay. I didn't find anything. I didn't search too hard. I might need to go back and do that. But I'll tell you what I did search almost instantly: death in police custody, 500 plus Americans in 1 year. So if we're going to talk about which country is more dangerous, and it doesn't matter if you're gay or not, it's just you're most likely poor. Now, the rich people can, like I said, do like Hunter did, go do a bunch of crack in a hotel room, and then wake up the next day and be fine, or the next 3 days later whenever you finally get some sleep or whatever. And normal people can't do that. They can't. They already spent their money on the drugs, most likely. They can't go buy a hotel room, like So, and that's where people get in trouble, and that's why people are always so confused. They're like, "Wait, why am I in trouble? Why am I going to jail? Why this and that?" Anyways, that's enough. I could go on a whole nother 30 minutes for that, but ta-ta for now. I will see you in the next one, probably here in a few hours, because I'm going to work, then be on vacation soon. So, ta-ta.